buses, the taxis in Durban, the Danforce in Lagos, the Daladalas in Dar es Salaam, and the Matatus in Nairobi that form the very backbone of public transit in African cities. In Nairobi, only about 15% of households own cars. The vast majority relies on Matatus to get around the city. Without the Matatu system, it's likely that the city would grind to a halt. Improving this system is urgent and critical. Congestion, air pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions linked to climate change are real problems for African cities like Nairobi. Improving the bus systems is a key part of the solution. Yet surprisingly, little open information needed to improve the bus systems exists for passengers, planners, policymakers, and researchers.
Like a capital in Nairobi, you're using Matatus, you're using bus. How can you get information which bus is using which route, where is it heading to, the kind of destination, the path which it follows, the kind of stop which we have, and how frequently can you be able to get a bus?
These bus systems often seem to be chaotic and complex, and data on them elusive, but technology is transforming the way we relate to transit. Digital Matatus is a key player in the movement to make transportation in the developing world more efficient and open. A collaborative project of the University of Nairobi, Columbia University's Center for Sustainable Urban Development, MIT's Civic Data Design Lab, and GroupShot have been collecting and standardizing transit data for Nairobi's Matatu systems, the city's decentralized city bus system, making it open and available to the public for the first time.
So the Digital Matatu project is started off as a research project around looking at how do people in the informal settlements move about. We've been able to put together data that maps Nairobi's Matatu or public transit system accurately. The data is in digital form and is available for anybody who would like to use it. It's open. The data comprises of the actual tracks that are used by Matatus, inbound and outbound. We also have information about where the stops are. We've mapped out close to almost 3,000 bus stops, or what we normally in Kenya refer to as stages, bus stages. And that also includes terminus and so on. We've also, within the project, the other data that we're able to put together was tentative schedules based on frequency of the dispatcher from the main terminus on the data side. We then use this data to develop a map, a stylized map of the Nairobi transit system. And so we also have the Nairobi Matatu routes in a stylized format, and this can be downloaded and printed on a map. We already have a few maps like the one behind me.
Armed with cell phones, University of Nairobi's students rode and followed every route, all 136 of them, collecting data as they went. Matatu drivers, university students and other citizens helped give critical feedback throughout the development of the data and map, a real example of a bottom-up approach. Digital Matatus has literally helped put Africa's systems on the map. This work is now spreading to Kampala, Maputo, Lusaka and Accra. Since a launch in collaboration with Nairobi County and the Kenya Alliance of Residents Association in January 2014, the data and map have been used to improve the experience of Matatu riders, with some developers using this project as a launchpad for crowdsourcing data on accidents and crime. while others have developed a mobile payment system that calculates the correct payment for riders' trip to combat price fluctuations.
As for example, depending on where I'm located, I can actually ask the system to tell me what's the nearest bus stop. And then basically what it does is that it checks the GTFS data, the data that we have for Nairobi, looks at my position and then suggests when the nearest stage is.
Nairobi is planning the bus rapid transit corridor number 1, which is coming from Kangemi down to the airport, passing through the CBD. So we can see that the original digital Matatu maps that were produced by the university have been the first piece in the whole circle of introducing public transport solutions for Nairobi.
When you're sending out people to collect data, you need to first of all find the most optimal kind of route for them to take. You must find the most optimal way for them to collect this data. So we actually use the digital Matatu map to be able to station people in different places, because then we know, depending on where you live, this is the kind of Matatu one that you're going to take. This is what will be the shortest distance. This is what will give us the most effective results.
So personally, I'm benefiting a lot from the digital Matatu map, which you can either print out as a map or you can also download the app. So for me, being a foreigner in Kenya, it helps me a lot to find my way around in Nairobi and in the outskirts of Nairobi, since I can see on the map exactly which Matatu number is taking which route. So instead of asking around in town, asking the conductors, asking the drivers, I can actually just use the app or look at my printout and figure it out myself.
Digital Matatu continues to work in Nairobi to create a sustainable, long-term means of producing high-quality open data for public transit to spur innovation, transparency, and service improvements. Better transit by leveraging technology, data, and engaged citizens will be critical to less congested, connected, clean, and low-carbon cities in the continent.